Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Are We There Yet collection from the brand KB Shimmer. This collection goes on sale June 1st, so in the description box below I will link the KB Shimmer site, I will link their Instagram page, and then I'll link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. So there are 9 polishes in this collection, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Picture This, and this is described as a cherry leaning polish loaded with colorful shifting shimmer. In the light, bright gold and copper shimmer accents the scattering of gold hollow flakes, and then in the shade it shows more muted tones of orange, lime, and red, sometimes with a hint of blue and violet. So here's our first coat of Picture This. This is super opaque here on this first coat, like pretty much a one coater. I would call this a one coater, but I did do 2 coats just to show you what that looks like today. Nice and shiny, reflective on the nail. I did change up my lighting to try to catch some of that shifty shimmer. You will want top coat. This does dry dull, but removal is easy. So there are 2 coats. Up next we have Red, White, and Brews, and this is described as a faded red mega flame polish loaded with the most holographic glitters. Here's our first coat of Red, White, and Brews. This has a wonderful, easy to work with formula, no running, pulling, or staining. I have never had an issue with the KB Shimmer formula before. This was opaque in 2 coats for me. I do recommend top coat. It does dry dull and textured, and removal is difficult, so there's 2 coats. Up next we have Perfectly Suited, and this is described as a yellowy chartreuse nail polish with a gold color shifting shimmer that shows off shades of gold, orange, yellow, and lime. Here is Perfectly Suited. This one has good opacity on this first coat, especially considering what kind of color it is. I did do 2 coats to reach full opacity. Formula is wonderful, again, to work with. No running, no pulling, no staining. This does dry on the dull side, so I do recommend going in for top coat, and removal is easy. So there are 2 coats. Up next we have Easy Glowing, and this is described as a neon chartreuse jelly polish loaded with color shifting flakes in orange, lemon, and lime. Here's our first coat of Heavy Glowing, and holy macaroni, look at this. This is a stunning neon. The flakes that are in here stand out beautifully. They accent it gorgeously. Formula is wonderful to work with. I got full opacity in 2 coats. It is going to dry pretty dull, so I do recommend top coat, but removal will be easy. This is a standout in the collection for me. There's 2 coats. Up next we have Happy Camper, and this is described as a aqua teal leaning robin's egg blue cream. Here is Happy Camper. Their cream formulas are 100% always wonderful. I got full opacity for this one in just 2 coats. Was really impressed with that. This does dry nice and glossy all on its own, though I do recommend top coat to keep your manicure lasting as long as possible. If you have to skip it, you could in theory. So there are 2 coats. Next up we have Cruise Control, and this is described as a bright cobalt blue with a mint green and gold shimmer. Here's our first coat of Cruise Control. I definitely haven't said it yet, but we have looked at quite a few of these like heavily packed shimmery polishes in this collection, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but I didn't have any brush stroking through any of them. I did have full opacity here in 2 coats. I'd recommend top coat, and removal's easy, but look how shifty this is in such a beautiful mermaid-esque base. Next up we have Coast Through Life, and this is described as a vibrant raspberry leaning purple loaded with a linear holographic pigment. Here's our first coat of Coast Through Life, and this is a solid 1 coater for me. I'm going to show you what 2 coats looks like just so you can see me paint my nails a little bit longer, and I can talk about this polish a little bit longer, but this is definitely a 1 coater. Super strong hollow on this one. It'll shine best when it's fully dry and in the sun. A top coat will also help that hollow stand out, and I didn't have any staining on this personally, but I do recommend going in for base coat because it is super pigmented. Next up we have the namesake of the collection. This is Are We There Yet? And this is described as a pale silver leaning lavender polish with a copper color shifting shimmer.
Here's our first coat of Are We There Yet? This is nicely opaque here on this first coat. I did do 2 to reach full opacity. The shimmer that's in here is absolutely stunning, and the little flakes that are in here complement this base color really, really nicely. This is going to dry on the duller side, so I do recommend top coat, but removal is easy.
And lastly for today we have Lights Out, and this one's described as a midnight to purple multichrome.
And here's our first coat of Lights Out. This one is pretty opaque here on this first coat. I did do 2 again to reach full opacity. Super shifty on the nail. I'm going to change up my lighting here in a second so you can hopefully see some of that. This is going to dry decently glossy on its own. I'd recommend top coat just to get this manicure poppin' and nice and alive and to keep it safe. So there are 2 coats.
And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.